Okay, so we could be given a circle equation and we're asked then to describe it. So we were asked for its center and its radius. So remember, we always refer to this general equation here. Okay, so when we have this equation, let's look at the first one here. X squared plus y squared equals 4. And there's no brackets here, but we saw something similar like this last time, didn't we? You could rewrite this as x minus 0 all squared plus y minus 0 all squared, yeah, because that's what you end up with then, equals then to 4. You don't have to write that, okay? You can just look at this straight away and realize you're taking away 0. So that means that the circle center is at the origin, okay, so it'll be 0, 0. And of course then the radius, well, if that's 4, r squared is 4, yeah? Which means then r is equal to 2. Okay, because you square root it, of course. Let's look at the next one. So in this case here, right, your a, okay, is the value here, okay, the 2, because remember it's got to be x minus a, so it'll be 2. But here, okay, because it's positive 5, b has got to be negative 5, hasn't it? Okay, because it's got to follow that sort of format. So if you want to, you can rewrite this again as x minus 2 all squared, keep that as it is, and then y take away negative 5 all squared equals 25. You don't have to write that, but it's just for you to see that you have to always consider the general formula in that format. Both of these are minuses, so we can change this to double negative essentially. Okay, so then we have then now b to be negative 5. Okay, so this, in this case then the circle center will be my a, which is 2, b, which is negative 5, and the radius, well, r squared is 25, so that means the radius then will be the square root of that, which is 5. Okay, all right. So suppose we get given the circle equation like this, and they often do that in the exam. Okay, how do we get the circle center from here? How do we do it? Well, first priority is to group the sort of x terms together and the x squared terms together and the y squared and y terms together. So rewrite this as x squared plus 4x, okay, and then plus y squared minus 6y. So you group in the x squared and x terms, y squared and the y terms, and then don't forget that minus 3 of course at the end. And we want to get it into bracket format, okay, we want to sort of get back to brackets. The way we do that is we complete the square, okay, and you used to complete them the square, and we'll do it. We won't only just do it once, we will do it twice, because if we just focus to begin with on the x squared and x terms, we'll complete the square here, right? So basically, if you remember to complete the square, you have a bracket squared with x in front of it, yeah, the first term, and then if you remember, you've got to halve this, yeah. So because it's positive 4, if you halve it, it'll be positive 2. Okay, and then remember also when you complete the square, you've always then got to take away the square of this. So if you square that, you get 4. Okay, so that's the way you complete the square. It's a quick approach to it. Now, I said you've got to complete the square twice. Well, we've done it for the x squared plus 4x term there. What about the y? Well, we'll do the same here. Okay, so in this case, we'll have a bracket squared with y in front of it. And then we halve this. Okay, so what's half of negative 6? Well, that'll be negative 3. Okay, and then you always then take away the square of this, which will be 9. Okay, and then don't forget the minus 3 at the end. That's so important not to forget that. So you end up with x plus 2 all squared. Okay, so we got that bracket. Then let's do the other bracket. Y take away 3 all squared. And then the numbers. Negative 4, take away 4, take away 9, take away 3. Okay, that will be take away 16, won't it? Equals 0. So we rewrite it then in the format that we used to. Okay, take that minus 16 over, becomes 16 there. Okay, so then you can describe your circle. So the circle has center, right? Well, your a value is here. Now, of course, because that's a positive, your a must be negative 2. Okay, your b is just that value there, 3. And of course then the radius is the square root of that there, yeah, because that's your r squared. So r squared is 16, so your r must be 4. Okay, let's do one more. Now, with this one here, got to be really careful because you can group the x squared terms, yeah, x and x terms, and then the y squared and y terms. However, you're not going to be able to complete the square because remember, if there's a number in front of the x squared, you can't complete the square unless you do a bit of work with it, unless you take that 3 out and factorize it. Okay, now good thing about this, because it's an equation, all right, we can sort it out quite quickly, and all you've got to do is whatever value is in front of the x squared, you'll have the same value in front of the y squared, okay, for it to be in a circle equation, and you get rid of it just by dividing through by that value. So we're going to divide through by 3. So if I do that, divide that by 3, I get x squared. Divide that by 3, I get y squared. Divide that by 3, I get 2x. Divide that by 3, I get minus 1, so minus y. Divide that by 3, I get negative 2/3 equals to 0. Group the x's, and the x squared rather than x terms. Group the y squared and y terms. Then we'll complete the square. So x plus, right, so remember you've got to halve this. Take away then the square of this, which is 1. Same here then, we've got to halve this. So it's minus 1, isn't it? So if I halve it, it'd be minus half. Take away the square of it, which is quarter. Okay, and then don't forget that negative 2/3 equals 0. So you get x plus 1 all squared, y minus half all squared. And then if we do those numbers, I'll do that on my calculator, minus 1 minus a quarter minus 2/3, and I get minus 23 over 12. Take it over to the side, I get that. Okay, it's not particularly nice, but you get your circle center then to be negative 1, yeah, because it's got to be minus this, to be the opposite of that, half, and the radius then will be the square root of that, and we're done.